Hi, I'm Denise London, and I would like to welcome you to DeniseLondon.com, the launch of my new website that I have been, the website and the whole program I have been working on for about 5 years. I had my surgery about 7 years ago, and in order to make that decision, I spoke to my endocrinologist, who had recommended that I have lap band after seeing about 21 doctors, none of whom could figure out why my right calf was hurting. But anyway, bottom line was it had something to do with the diabetes and the weight. And I decided that I was going to choose gastric bypass because in my research I had figured out that that was one of the ways to remediate diabetes the best you could, and either get rid of it or make it easier to manage, which for me it did get rid of it and made it easier to manage both, as well as getting rid of my sleep apnea and several other comorbidities that I did have. I lost nearly 100 pounds. One day I was walking through Manhattan and I was so taken by the fact that I saw this image in a storefront window, and it was me, and it was, I guess, 4 or 5 dress sizes lower, and I didn't even recognize myself. I have to say, pleasantly surprised, but it indicated to me how important dealing with your outer self is. And so that's why part of my site will be talking about ideas for enhancing the outer you and accepting the outer you. And in addition to the outer you, I realized that the inner me needed some work too, because in spite of the weight loss and the honeymoon period being over, after about 18 months, I realized, oh my goodness, what am I going to do about the fact that I still want those Oreo cookies? I had been fortunate enough at the Obesity Action Coalition conference to meet up with this Dr. Mark Gold. He was out of Florida, and he's an obesity and addiction specialist. Anyway, after talking to him, I realized, I'm like, oh my goodness, I think I must be an addict. And I realized that I am. For cookies, for candy, at some point it was cigarettes, to anxiety, to worry, addicted to a lot of things. But in order for me to deal with that, I had to go through a big process that involves psychology, meditation. You can read more about that on the site. Now, one of the reasons why I chose gastric bypass as well is because I wanted to not feel well after I ate sugar. But in the beginning, it wasn't so easy. I mean, I did go through the dumping syndrome. I remember one time I was with some friends in Cape May, New Jersey. We went to a concert, and they spent the hour and a half in the stadium with the concert, and I spent the hour and a half in the parking lot doing you-know-what, which was not pleasant, but after about a whole bottle of Pepto-Bismol, that taught me a lesson. And then, I woke up one morning and realized that I had developed some pillars of success for myself. And besides the 4 that I just mentioned, another one was this whole idea of fitness and the commitment that you have to make to fitness and how consistent that has to be. Now, before I had the surgery, I actually had a trainer for about 4 years. And I was kind of fit inside. I told everybody that underneath this fat, I'm really Halle Berry. But anyway, that's just a joke, of course. Well, maybe not really, but anyway. So the 5th pillar being that of fitness, and then essentially, I guess the biggest piece of it, and the 6th pillar of success, is to surround myself with an inspirational team. Honestly, I could not have done this without my support groups, my friends, my family, my significant other, and others along the way who helped me to build this program. If it weren't for all those folks, and not only for them offering the help, but for me to accept the help, which was another big thing, and that goes back to the inner me. But at any rate, these were the 6 pillars that I've come up with, and that this website is centered around. And what I want to do is, I'm not trying to preach to anybody. I just want to share my experience And hopefully when I share my experience, you all will relate and come back and visit me over and over again. Sign up for my newsletter. And here's hoping you health, happiness, and harmony. Thanks for coming aboard.